Imagine this. After a busy day, you finally get to relax and enjoy a tasty bedtime snack before drifting off to sleep. But what you might not realize is that this seemingly harmless and even pleasurable habit could be hiding deadly risks for people over 60. Recently in Florida, a 68-year-old retired teacher named Richard suffered a heart attack just 2 hours after falling asleep, following a hearty evening snack. He was diagnosed with myocardial infarction, and doctors told him that if his wife Martha hadn't immediately called an ambulance, he might not have lived to see the next sunrise. What's even more shocking is that Richard had maintained a relatively healthy lifestyle all along. He exercised regularly, rarely smoked, and his blood pressure was within normal range. But that one specific food he ate before bed became the final straw that broke his heart health. In this video, we'll reveal what dangerous food Richard ate before bed and why it poses such a serious threat to heart health in older adults. More importantly, we'll detail 5 foods that people over 60 must avoid before bedtime to protect their heart health and ensure they wake up safely each morning. Be sure to watch until the end of the video, because the last food might surprise you. It looks extremely healthy and is even recommended by many health magazines. But for seniors, consuming it before bed could bring unexpected risks. Before we begin, if you've already subscribed to our channel, please type the number 1 in the comments to let me know you are watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, click the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you won't miss any of our health tips. If you have any thoughts about this video, whether you like it or have suggestions, type 0 in the comments to let me know how I can bring you more valuable content. Now let's get started. The surprising connection between bedtime eating and heart health. First, we need to understand why bedtime eating is so crucial for heart health, especially for people over 60. This isn't just about weight control. It's a matter of life and death. As we age, our digestive system and metabolism become slower. This means food consumed before bedtime isn't processed as quickly as when we were younger. Instead, it stays in our digestive tract longer, putting extra strain on our body, particularly the cardiovascular system. Richard's doctor explained that right before sleep, our bodies naturally begin preparing for a rest state. Blood pressure should gradually decrease, heart rate slow down, and all body systems relax. However, if we consume certain types of food at this time, we force the body to suddenly enter a high digestive state, causing blood pressure to rise, heart rate to increase, and adding to the heart's workload. Digestion during sleep can also lead to acid reflux, which not only causes discomfort but disrupts sleep quality. For seniors, good sleep quality is especially important for heart health. Research shows that sleep disruptions are directly linked to increased risks of high blood pressure, irregular heartbeat, and heart attacks. Richard recalls, "That night I felt everything was normal, even more relaxed than usual. I never thought I would become a victim of heart disease, especially since I'd been working to stay healthy." This is why understanding which foods are silent killers before bedtime is so important. They may seem harmless, even comfort foods you've enjoyed for years, but as you age, their impact on your health silently changes too. If you find this information valuable, please type the number 2 in the comments. This helps us understand which content is most helpful to you. 1. Richard's story. The bedtime snack that nearly killed him. Before we reveal those 5 dangerous foods, let me share Richard's experience in detail, which might sound an alarm bell for many people. Richard had always been an active person. Before retirement, he was a high school math teacher who loved outdoor activities and gardening. After retiring, he and his wife Martha lived a relatively healthy lifestyle. They went to the local pool 3 times a week for senior water aerobics classes and always paid attention to eating a balanced diet. However, Richard had one seemingly harmless habit. He enjoyed snacking while watching television before bed that night. After finishing his favorite detective show, Richard felt a little hungry and went to the kitchen to find something to eat. "I had a few slices of cheese, some crackers, and a big bowl of ice cream. Then washed it down with a glass of cold milk," Richard recalled. "This was a bedtime snack I ate frequently and never felt any discomfort." That night around 2 a.m., Richard suddenly woke from his sleep with severe chest pain. feeling like someone had placed a boulder on his chest. He began sweating profusely, had difficulty breathing, and felt a strange numbness in his left arm. Fortunately, Martha immediately recognized these as typical symptoms of a heart attack and called 911 right away. The ambulance arrived within 12 minutes. The paramedics provided appropriate treatment and then transported him to the hospital. After thorough examination, doctors confirmed Richard had indeed experienced a mild myocardial infarction, although it didn't cause permanent damage. The doctor warned that if he continued eating these specific foods before bed, he might not be so lucky next time. In particular, the doctor pointed out that Richard's food combination that night, high-fat cheese, refined carbohydrate crackers, sugar-rich ice cream, and cold milk, was a perfect storm for a 68-year-old's bedtime snack. When the doctor told me my eating habits nearly cost me my life, I felt both shocked and guilty. Richard said, "I always thought that as long as I maintained a healthy lifestyle overall, occasional indulgences were harmless. Now I know that for someone my age, when I eat and what I eat are equally important." If you, like Richard, have a habit of eating before bed, please type the number 3 in the comments. This will help me understand how many viewers might be at similar risk. Their 3 food number 1 to avoid after 60, high-sodium processed foods. Now, let's dive into the first food people over 60 must avoid before bed. High-sodium processed foods like crackers, chips, deli meats, and canned soups. High-sodium foods pose a special threat to seniors' heart health, particularly when consumed before bedtime. Sodium causes fluid retention in the body, increasing blood volume and forcing the heart to work harder to pump this extra fluid. For older adults already facing cardiovascular challenges, this additional burden can be dangerous. Even worse, studies show that high sodium intake immediately affects vascular function, even in healthy populations. One study found that after consuming a high-salt meal, the ability of blood vessels to dilate becomes impaired within 30 minutes, and this effect can last for hours. When this happens before bedtime, your heart is forced to work overtime during what should be its rest period. As we age, the heart's recovery ability decreases, and this extra stress can lead to serious consequences, including nighttime blood pressure spikes, arrhythmias, or even heart attacks. Like Richard experienced, the salty crackers Richard loved fall into this category. "I always chose the reduced sodium version, thinking that made them safe," he admitted. But the doctor explained that even reduced sodium versions still contain too much sodium for bedtime consumption. Experts suggest that if you feel hungry before bed, opt for low-sodium alternatives like fresh cucumber slices, a small portion of unsalted almonds, or a handful of blueberries. These foods won't cause fluid retention while still satisfying your hunger. Marianne, a 78-year-old who successfully changed her bedtime eating habits, told me, "I replaced my beloved crackers with fresh vegetables. It was hard to adjust at first, but after a few weeks, I noticed my sleep quality improved, and I no longer woke up with swollen fingers and ankles in the morning." If you are trying to reduce your sodium intake before bed, please type the number 4 in the comments to share your experience. Poor food number 2 to avoid after 60. High-sugar desserts. The second food to be cautious of is high-sugar desserts, like ice cream, cookies, cakes, and candy. This happens to be one of Richard's fateful choices that night. As we age, our pancreatic function gradually declines, reducing our ability to process sugar effectively. When you consume high-sugar foods before bed, your blood sugar levels spike sharply, prompting your pancreas to release large amounts of insulin to control the situation. For people over 60, these sudden blood sugar and insulin fluctuations, high insulin levels can lead to increased heart rate, elevated blood pressure, while also promoting inflammation and vascular damage additionally. These roller coaster blood sugar fluctuations disrupt sleep patterns. You might wake up in the middle of the night due to blood sugar drops, feeling heart palpitations or anxiety. For older adults, this interrupted sleep isn't just about feeling tired the next day. It increases heart disease risk. Richard's cardiologist explained, "That bowl of ice cream before bed might seem like a harmless treat, especially for someone who's generally healthy. But for people over 60, It's like setting a time bomb for the cardiovascular system, particularly when consumed with other problematic foods. If you find it difficult to resist sweet temptations before bed, consider safer alternatives. Half a small apple with a teaspoon of natural peanut butter or a small handful of berries are good options. These foods contain fiber that slows sugar absorption while still satisfying your sweet cravings. Robert, 73, shared, "I used to eat a piece of chocolate every night, thinking this small treat wouldn't be a problem. But since switching to a small handful of blueberries, my sleep quality has noticeably improved, and I wake up feeling more refreshed, without that sugar hangover feeling." If you have a habit of eating sweets before bed, please type the number 5 in the comments. I'd love to know how common this is among our viewers. Food number 3, to avoid after 60, high-fat dairy products. The third problematic food in Richard's story is high-fat dairy products, like full-fat cheese and cold milk. While dairy products are rich in calcium and protein beneficial for seniors, consuming high-fat dairy before bed may pose specific risks. High-fat dairy products digest particularly slowly. When you consume these foods just before sleep, your digestive system is forced to work at full capacity when it should be slowing down. This diverts blood from other resting organs, including the heart, disrupting the body's natural nighttime repair process. For people over 60, this digestive burden can lead to sleep disruptions, heartburn, and reflux, all of which increase cardiac stress. Reflux is especially dangerous because it can stimulate the vagus nerve, which may trigger arrhythmias, particularly in individuals with pre-existing heart conditions. Richard's cardiologist pointed out, the glass of cold milk with high-fat cheese was one of the key factors triggering the problem. The saturated fat they contain, combined with the timing of consumption before bed, created an extremely unfavorable environment for heart health. If you are used to consuming dairy products before bed, consider switching to small portions of low-fat or non-fat options. For example, replace cold whole milk with a small cup of warm skim milk. Warm beverages help relaxation, while the non-fat version reduces the burden on your digestive system. Susan, 71, shared her experience. "I used to eat cheese and crackers before bed, but often woke up in the middle of the night with chest discomfort. Since switching to small portions of low-fat yogurt with some nuts, I rarely have that discomfort anymore, and my sleep has become more continuous." If you are interested in learning more about alternatives to bedtime dairy consumption, please type the number 6 in the comments. 6. Food number 4 to avoid after 60. Spicy and acidic foods. The fourth category of foods to avoid is spicy and acidic foods, such as chili peppers, tomato sauce, citrus fruits, and certain spices. While these weren't part of Richard's meal that night, they pose similar challenges for seniors' bedtime eating. Spicy and acidic foods stimulate the stomach to produce more acid, increasing the risk of acid reflux when you lie down to sleep. Gravity no longer helps keep stomach acid in its proper place, making reflux more likely to occur. For people over 60, the esophageal sphincter has often weakened, further increasing this risk. Chronic reflux doesn't just cause discomfort, it also puts unexpected strain on the heart. When stomach acid flows back into the esophagus, it stimulates nerve reflexes that can lead to irregular heart rates. Additionally, to cope with the discomfort of reflux, the body releases stress hormones, causing blood pressure to rise. These effects can be particularly dangerous for seniors with known heart conditions. Multiple studies show that gastroesophageal reflux disease, GER, is associated with various coronary problems, including atrial fibrillation and coronary artery disease. William, 75, shared, "I used to enjoy spicy Mexican burritos while watching the evening news, but would always wake up in the middle of the night with burning in my chest. My doctor explained that this burning sensation might not just be acid reflux, but could also be causing cardiac stress. Since I stopped eating spicy foods before bed, both my sleep quality and heart health have notably improved." If you enjoy spicy foods, it's best to enjoy them earlier in the afternoon, at least 3 to 4 hours before bedtime. If you do feel hungry before bed, choose milder alternatives like cooked oatmeal, a banana, or a few whole grain crackers with unsalted almond butter. Have you noticed spicy or acidic foods affecting your sleep quality? If so, please type the number 7 in the comments to share your experience. 7. Food number 5 to avoid after 60. Seemingly healthy red fruit and vegetable juices. Now we come to the most surprising item. Seemingly very healthy red fruit and vegetable juices, including tomato juice, beet juice, cherry juice, and pomegranate juice. These beverages are often promoted as superfoods, rich in antioxidants and vitamins, which is true, however, for people over 60. Drinking them before bed may bring unexpected risks. These vibrant red fruit and vegetable juices contain natural compounds such as lysine, tyrosine, and histidine, which are known as biogenic amines. Biogenic amines stimulate the brain to release adrenaline, a fight or flight hormone that increases heart rate and blood pressure. For younger people, this effect may be negligible, but for seniors, especially those already facing cardiovascular challenges, this stimulation before bed can lead to palpitations, anxiety, and difficulty falling asleep. Additionally, red fruit and vegetable juices tend to be acidic, potentially exacerbating acid reflux issues. Many such beverages also contain high levels of natural sugars and potassium. While potassium is generally beneficial for heart health, consuming too much, especially for seniors taking certain heart medications, can lead to arrhythmias, a cardiologist explains. Many older patients think drinking a healthy fruit or vegetable juice as a bedtime beverage is a good idea, not realizing it may disrupt their sleep and increase cardiac load. Red fruit and vegetable juices in particular contain bioactive compounds that may trigger cardiovascular responses in sensitive individuals. Dorothy, 82, shared her experience. I drank a large glass of my homemade vegetable juice every night, thinking it was good for my health, but I started noticing I had trouble falling asleep and sometimes experienced palpitations when my doctor suggested moving this habit to morning instead of evening. These symptoms magically disappeared. If you enjoy the health benefits of fruit and vegetable juices, it's best to consume them in the morning or early afternoon. For bedtime, opt for gentler beverages, like caffeine-free herbal teas, especially chamomile or lavender tea, with calming properties. Does this information surprise you? If so, please type the number 8 in the comments. Final thoughts, new habits for safe bedtime eating. After sharing all this information, I hope you now understand the bedtime food choices. Richard's story reminds us that even seemingly harmless eating habits can become health risks as we age. The good news is that by making wise choices, you can enjoy comfortable bedtime snacks while protecting your heart health. Here are some safe bedtime food options. Small portions of roasted turkey breast or boiled eggs provide quality protein without raising your blood pressure or disrupting sleep. A small handful of unsalted nuts, like almonds or walnuts, contain healthy fats and protein that help stabilize blood sugar. A small amount of low-fat Greek yogurt with fresh berries can satisfy sweet cravings while providing beneficial probiotics. Warmer bowl teas like chamomile or lavender can help relax body and mind. Promoting sleep, a banana is rich in potassium and magnesium, helping muscle relaxation and promoting sleep. Richard has completely changed his bedtime habits now. I eat dinner earlier now, and if I really feel hungry before bed, I'll choose a small handful of almonds or half a banana, he says. This simple change may have saved my life. I hope others can learn from my experience without having to go through that terrifying night. Remember, the issue isn't just about the food itself, but also the timing. Even healthy foods can cause problems if consumed in large amounts before bed. A good rule of thumb is to try to finish your last meal at least 2 to 3 hours before bedtime, and if you must eat something before bed, choose small portions of low sodium, low sugar, low fat, and non-acidic foods. I'd like to end today's video with a question. Would you be willing to change your bedtime eating habits for a healthier heart and better sleep quality? Sometimes the simplest changes can have the most significant health impacts. Thank you for watching this video. If you found valuable information in it, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need it. If you have any questions or want to share your experience, please leave a comment. We love hearing your feedback. Gives us tremendous encouragement and motivation. See you in the next video, and stay healthy and happy.